Today we're going to do nth root operations with division. Something that you're never allowed to have is a radical downstairs in the bottom of the fraction, ever. So we're going to do everything in our power to get rid of that. The top of the problem may look ugly, the bottom, no radicals, period. Something that will be helpful is having a list like this of our exponents, mostly higher powers, 3, 4, 5, 6 exponents. Those numbers are going to be we want to be familiar with those numbers. So starting off, let's start maybe by rewriting this, make it a little easier to understand. Okay, that radical to the fourth root of 5x, we got to get rid of it. So multiply by a value of 1. So we're going to have something up top, something on bottom. We're going to multiply by a radical, okay, because we're dealing with radicals. Because we're dealing with radicals with an index of 4, these are going to be an index of 4. Okay, I'm going to use exponents here. I want this 5 to be able to disappear. So remember, if I have an index of 4, I'm looking for something times itself, times itself, times itself to give me whatever our answer is. How about if I wrote that as 5 to the third power? Because I already have 1 5 here. I have 3 more 5s here. When I put them together, I'm going to have 4 5s. I don't care what the answer is, but I know that there's 4 of them. So what got repeated? A 5 got repeated. It'll help us simplify something. Okay, so I have 5 to the third there. We'll come back to all these other numbers later. I also have 1x here, but I want something that gets repeated 4 times when I put these together. So I'm looking for 3 more x's. So x to the third, x to the third. Whatever I'm putting on the bottom, I'm going to put on the top because I need them to be the exact same thing. Because now, when I simplify, how many 5s do I have multiplied over here? I've got 4 of them. 5 to the fourth. I could figure out what the math is, but I don't really care. All I care about is that I know I have 4. How many x's do I have? I've got 1, I've got 3, I have 4. Okay, if I were to simplify them, what got repeated 5 times, or what got repeated 4 times here? 5 got repeated 4 times. What got repeated 4 times here? X got repeated 4 times. Look at that. The radical is gone downstairs. Now I got to worry about the big ugly mess upstairs. So let's rewrite. 5 times 5 times 5 is going to give us 125. 125 times 6. 125 times 6. So 30, 12, that's 6, 7, 750. Ugh. And then x to the third. Is there anything being multiplied by itself 4 times to give us that? No. So we'll just leave that. 750, x to the third. Top's going to be ugly. Bottom's got to be clean. So next one, let's rewrite it. I don't like the way that looks, so we're going to say 6x squared to the third, 5y, index 3. Okay, now since we have an index of 3, I'm looking for something to get repeated by itself 3 times. Okay, so we're going to multiply by, we're going to rationalize this. We're going to multiply by something over itself. We're going to have radicals, index of 3's. I already have 1 5. You know what? Let's get 2 more over here. I already have 1 y. I want 2 more y's. Make sure we do the same thing up top. 5 squared, y squared. Why? Because on the bottom, we now have 1 5 and 2 5's giving us 3 of them. We have 1, 2, 3 y's. And if we simplify, what got repeated 3 times here? 5 gets repeated. What gets repeated 3 times here? Y gets repeated up top. Okay, here you're going to have 5 times 5, which is 25. 25 times 6 is going to be 150. And we're left with x squared, y squared. Lastly, index of 4 this time. We already have our problem broken up. If you wanted to rewrite it like this, you could. But I like it broken up. So we need something to be repeated 4 times here. Okay. And I'm going to do something a little different here. We know we're going to have a radical with an index of 4. This time, I'm just going to put 1, 4 there. And you'll see why in a second. I need 4 of something. I need the y's. I'm going to say y squared. Cool. Let's do the same thing up top. Okay. Why did I only put 1 4 here instead of doing 3? Well, if I multiply these out, I'm left with 16y to the 4th. Okay. If we go back to our list and we look at column with our exponent of the 4, how can I get a 16? Well, I have 2 being multiplied by itself 4 times. So I gave myself smaller numbers here. So 16 is the same as saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 gets repeated. So 2 is on the bottom. What got repeated there? Y. Up top, you're left with the index 4 radical. We're going to get 28 x3y squared. There's nothing we can do there. So let's bring that all right down. And that is simplifying using nth root operations, division.